Hi, today we're talking about foods that you can eat to stay calm and to lose weight. My name is Chenelle Hitchcock. I'm a food nutrition teacher, so I've got plenty of experience and expertise in this field. I'm also the author of Proven Steps to a Calmer, Happier, Healthier You. Okay, so when it comes to eating foods to stay calm and lose weight, what do we do? The big answer is learning about the glycemic index. So I'm going to show you a chart now which will explain it, and I'll use some examples to explain what the glycemic index is and how you can use it to lose weight and to stay calm. Okay, when you eat foods that have got a high glycemic index, and that means that they actually produce a high amount of glucose in your blood sugar very quickly. It rises up very quickly, and then your body actually has to produce some insulin for that sugar to go into your liver and muscle cells. And then not long after, you'll experience a fall in your blood glucose. And when we get down to here, this could be considered hypoglycemia stage, and you may experience some hypoglycemia symptoms, like maybe being ravenously hungry or a little bit shaky. Then typically what happens is people need something. They reach for a cup of coffee, they reach for a high glycemic index carbohydrate, and they grab that, and that gives them a really quick burst of energy, and so the blood sugar rises very quickly. And again, what happens is we get to this stage here where the body has to again produce some more insulin. Now, insulin is a fat storing hormone, so we've got plenty of insulin in this body at the moment. So this poor person is more likely to be storing fat rather than burning fat. And then the blood sugar will drop again. Now, as opposed to, let's have a look at what eating a low glycemic index carbohydrate does. If we're eating carbohydrates with low glycemic index carbohydrates, they produce a much lower rate of glucose, and it's a steadier rise. So it's a lower amount of glucose and it's a slower rise. So it gives you sustained energy throughout the day. Now, your brain needs a sustained source of energy throughout the day. So if you're eating low glycemic index carbohydrates, it gives you this lovely slow release of glucose into your blood. You're much more likely to think clearly and have less brain fog. This gives you sustained energy through the day. You can think more clearly, and it keeps you, these type of carbohydrates that give you the low, slow rise in blood sugar, they keep you feeling fuller for longer. So it's not really rocket science, the glycemic index. All you need to do is that you need to learn how to choose these carbohydrates when you eat carbohydrates as opposed to these ones, because you don't want your body going on this roller coaster of really high blood sugar, then crashing and low blood sugar, then high blood sugar, then crashing and low blood sugar. Because when you're in this state, you're not in a fat burning state, you're in a fat storage state. And also the other thing to keep you calm, in reference to the calm part, is that when you're down here in the low glycemic index section, where you're potentially experiencing low glycemic index symptoms, your body actually has to produce more of the adrenal hormone cortisol to give you more energy. And this can be very stressful to the body. In fact, it is very stressful to the body. If you're on a constant roller coaster like this, it is very stressful to the body. You are much more likely to be calm if you can have steady blood sugar levels by eating the low glycemic index carbohydrates that give you a lower and slower rise of blood glucose. Now, in terms of the foods, the types of carbohydrate foods that you need to eat, I'm going to show you a few examples now of foods that are low GI. And the low GI carbohydrates are foods that are under 55. So from 1 to 55, they are classified as low GI foods. And you want to make sure that you include lots of those type of foods in your diet. So things like, in terms of breads, there's breads and there's breads. This is the Ezekiel bread, which is absolutely delicious. It's quite nutty and very dense, and it has quite a low GI. It's very filling. One slice really fills you up. In fact, I just had one slice before I did this video, and instantly, well, not instantly, but I did feel better afterwards because I noticed that my blood sugar was starting to drop. Other foods that are low GI, most of your vegetables, particularly your green vegetables, are very low GI. So you know, like normal healthy eating, you can eat lots of the low GI diet, low GI vegetables like zucchinis, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. In terms of canned foods, there are some healthy canned foods that are low in GI. Black beans is low in GI, and 4-bean mix is low in GI, and also good old baked beans, low in GI as well. In terms of cereals, the best cereal is good old rolled oats, so it's low in GI. The traditional rolled oats is actually lower in GI than the quick cut. These are really nice. Just all you need to do is just be a little bit organised and boil the kettle and just put a little bit of hot water on them and let them sit there for 5 minutes before you cook them, and that'll soften them and they'll be just as nice as the instant oats. So they are lower GI than the instant oats. Now the rice that you need to start buying is this one here. This is called Dungara, and it is a lower GI rice. Normal rice that you buy, your normal white and brown short grain rices, are in the 70s, which means they are in the high GI, whereas this one is in the 50s. So you still can't eat huge amounts of it once it's cooked, but you can eat a little bit more of it compared to the higher GI rice. So I would advise you to get this one. Now, another bread which is really good is the Bergen bread, and this actually has the low glycemic index symbol on it. So it's specifically formulated to be a low GI bread, and it's quite filling. Yeah, I do recommend that bread. Now, in terms of fruit, apples are a low GI fruit. Kiwi fruits are low GI. Bananas are a medium GI. Things like carrots, because they're a little bit more starchy, they're still very good, but they're a medium GI. So red lentils are very good. They are quite a low GI. And pasta, this is quite interesting, but cooked pasta, the cooked wheat pasta, which I try to keep a container in the fridge, has a low GI. So this is excellent. So you can keep some in the fridge, and then you can just chop up a nice big pot of free vegetables, non-starchy vegetables like zucchini and onion and cauliflower and broccoli. Steam them with a small amount of water, and if you've got some cooked pasta, you can add a small amount of that. Use your portion control to add maybe 1/3 cup to 1/2 cup to your steamed vegetables. Add some protein to that, whether it's meat, chicken or fish, a small amount of meat, chicken and fish. Add a little bit of flavouring to that, maybe some Thai curry paste, and you've got an instant meal. So it's a matter of being prepared, and you will be able to eat well on a low glycemic index. But the best thing that I can recommend for you is to educate yourself and take control, because it's really part of an overall approach. So in terms of the overall approach, what I recommend that you do is to have a source of protein at each meal, which will keep you fuller for longer. Have a source of a healthy, low GI carbohydrate at each meal, which give you a lower, slower rise in your blood sugar levels. Have some healthy fat sources at your meals, which is very important for your brain and immune function. And don't skip meals, because when you skip meals, it means you go through that peaks and troughs of blood sugar, which is not healthy for you. As I showed you, it's a stress on the body, and it puts you in the fat storage mode. So it's definitely not something that you should be doing. The other thing is that you obviously need to incorporate some exercise, some movement into your day. 30 minutes of exercise per day is the current recommendation. And the last thing is to enjoy your food and to slow down and eat mindfully. Don't stand up and rush around shoving food into your face, because you're probably eating a lot more than what you think you are. Sit down and take your time and mindfully enjoy your food. And if you're the sort of person who wants to rush and just spoon it in one after the other without even thinking what you're eating, slow down. Maybe even count to 10 before you put the next spoonful of food into your mouth. Really taste everything that you're eating and be grateful for it. Sometimes I say to myself, I'm so happy and grateful I'm eating this beautiful bread. I'm so happy and grateful I'm eating these beautiful vegetables. And slow yourself down, because what you think actually impacts on your digestion and your whole physiology and even your gut microbiome. Your thoughts impact on your digestion. So eating healthy to be calm and lose weight is an overall approach, and educating yourself on eating low glycemic index is the key. And I would like to recommend my book, which is Proven Steps to a Calmer, Happier, Healthier You, as I have a significant section in the book explaining how to do it in easy steps and some recipes that are low glycemic index and are delicious. There's some beautiful banana muffins in this book that are low glycemic index. So I hope you've enjoyed the chat about eating to stay calm and losing weight, and I look forward to connecting with you next time.